This northern hemisphere weather be like wet, dry, and on Sunday, the 22nd of September, the sun will be shifting into its fallen sign of Libra at 2:44 local Amsterdam time and will start the autumn time. The fall is a time to go out and develop with all the experiences we've gained in the first 6 months of the year. Week 38 will also be the start of the eclipse season as we have the partial lunar eclipse in Pisces on Wednesday, the 18th of September. A lunar eclipse is a time to let things go and purge so we can take on new motivation during the solar eclipse. And this is all starting in the last week of summer, the last week of Virgo season. And Virgo is all about improving ourselves, taking back the statistics, analyzing them about our results and our feelings, and showing up new and improved in a new year with our skills and our services. So, at the beginning of Virgo season, I talked about my trigger being ghosted constantly. And the constant factor in it is me with my 100% uncut, pure love for everything and everyone, which has taught me be a little less naive. But a few years ago, I also went to my brother and I asked him, why are people so intimidated by me? And he's like, because you communicate very well. You admit your mistakes, and every time someone wants to come back and apologize, you're already like 5, 6 steps ahead. And that is intimidating, Shmoane. I told him, nah, that's high value because you have high value and high maintenance. High maintenance is constantly putting your energy and your time constantly texting, meeting up, and everything. But what's the value of that relationship of meeting up? And we have high value. Someone of high value understands you have your own family, you have your job, you have your own life, and I appreciate that you have time for me. So let me fill this time with value by sharing inspiration, by sharing motivation, by sharing perspectives, changing perspectives, whatever. So make that relationship, make that time valuable as we already started with week 38 on Monday, the 16th of September. As Venus will be in an opposition with Chiron moving retrograde. So Venus in Libra, it's all about those valuable relationships. What is the value that we gain out of being with those close and committed people we hang out with every time in an opposition with Chiron moving retrograde? So that wounded healer bringing back all those blasts from the past, which actually hurt us, but why are they coming back? Because these are lessons that we haven't learned yet. And every time we don't learn, they come back so we can learn. But sometimes we just be a little bit too naive, and we should stop that. Especially with for Virgo risings. Venus in Libra is in the second house of the neck, the throat, the voice. Speak about your values. Stop being so naive. Yeah, like maybe they didn't mean it like that. Maybe they. Remember that. We're going to come back at that. But talk about your value and acknowledge the lack of the relationships that we keep up. Later in the day, Mars will be the last in the cardinal T square with the North Node and the South Node in this axis of relationships, relationship with yourself and relationships outside ourselves. And Mars in its detriment sign of Cancer, acting with our feelings. If our feelings are pure, if our feelings are true, we can act true and pure. And sometimes you need to say, I need to save my space. I need to protect my peace. Be like a Buddhist. Be like Bhutan. Bhutan, if you wanna visit it like a tourist, you have to pay like 200 a day for tourist tax because they cherish what they have. They want to protect it, and they know tourists they destroy everything and stuff. So if you want to be here, pay up. If you value it so much, value it. And some people may say, oh, that's arrogant, like a Buddhist. When a Buddhist sees you doing your shenanigans, okay, you went out together, so they will stay with you, but they will not engage with your shenanigans. They won't judge you, but them not engaging will give us a feeling like maybe I'm doing something stupid. And maybe we are. Maybe we should be thinking about like, are we actually acting righteous and stuff? Protect your peace. And it may be intimidating to others to say, this is what I do value and this is what I do not value. This is how much I value it. Be intimidating. We're going to be intimidating anyway. Just do it. Just do it. if your feelings, your senses are correct. It's the way you act, though, that's not always correct in certain situations. Let's remember that too, as we're going off to what we came for, Wednesday, the 18th of September, as we'll put the moon on 25 degrees in Pisces, in an opposition with the sun on 25 degrees in Virgo, forming a full moon. 25 degrees is the Aries degree, and we have three Aries degrees. So we have 1, 13, and 25. And the further we go, the more evolved, the more developed. And I'm not saying that the other ones that don't have like a third degree, because only Aries, Taurus, Gemini, Cancer, and Leo have it. I'm not saying like you can't reach the third degree. It's just what it is. Either way, 25 degrees, the Aries degree, trust in yourself, that you can do things, that you can save yourself. Because let's be honest, no one is going to save us. Like, oh God, give me a sign. Maybe the new moon is a sign. We're talking about the full moon, but a new moon is dark moon. You can't see that stuff, but you can know that stuff. And if your feelings are saying, oh, I feel like this, let me just look up some astrological things because the Lord put that thing out there. Look that thing up. And if it's collide, I lost the word, but if it connects, it connects. If it not connect, it not connect. But what is so hard in saying, oh, you know what, let me try. If you try, you know 100%, oh, this does work, or you know 100%, oh, this doesn't work. Just stay open, stay tolerant. Doesn't mean you have to take it on your own, make it your own. Either way, yeah, follow your senses. And if you're looking for a sign outside, I'm always saying like astrology is over there. Don't miss the boat because something or someone else is like, oh, you like astrology? I don't like astrology. I get astrology. Either way, this full moon will be ruled by Neptune in Pisces, moving retrograde. So Neptune making it difficult to see things clearly and objectively. At the beginning of the Neptune retrograde on the 2nd of July, I already said, make sure that your feelings, that you're one with your feelings. I are long already said Mars will be in Cancer. Make sure that you know your feelings and that you can be one with your feelings. At the beginning of Virgo season, I said Mercury in Virgo. Make sure that you know your feelings and that you can trust your feelings because they will bring you here. They will bring you there, especially with all this delusion, illusion, pollution that people are putting in our subconscious. You dig? Now, people, not everyone is sure about their stuff, but they preach it like they're sure. Make sure that you are sure by following your senses, by following your intuition. And there is no harm in trying. They say do or do not. There is no try. There is a try to say I'm gonna do or I'm not gonna do. Later in the day, Mercury will be in an opposition with Saturn moving retrograde in Pisces. So I've learned that I need to talk about Saturn, but someone asked me in Dutch, so maybe I'm not even gonna do it in English. Either way, Saturn in Pisces. So I like to achieve these dreams. I like to make these plans to achieve these dreams, but it's moving retrograde, so it's difficult to feel sure of ourselves, to feel sure of our feelings. Our subconscious saying, oh, I need to be here, I need to be there. But Saturn is the master teacher. So I just said we have like 3 times Aries degree, but we have like 3 decades or something. The first 10 days, the second 10 days, and the third 10 days. This is the first Saturn retrograde. Saturn moves through a sign every 2 to 3 years. So moves retrograde 3 times. In this first retrograde, it's trying to teach people to be less naive and follow your own senses, follow your own feelings, and be quiet down the outside, quiet down the inside, so your spirit can guide you. As Saturn is the teacher, would like to guide you, but sometimes we have to be quiet and not let everything and everyone influence us. And that's all. So then we have this second retrograde, like, are we still being naive? The third retrograde, are you still putting stuff in other people? And especially the 25 degrees, Aries degree again, are we still going to be like, this and self-compassion and, it's not? You gotta save yourself, bro. And Saturn is just trying to lead the way to how you can save yourself, where you can save yourself. Oh yeah, find the stillness to let your spirit guide you, because it's spirit you-wality, not spirit us-wality, not spirit we-wality, it's spirit you-wality. So do you. As we're going up to Thursday, the 19th of September, as the sun will be in a practical, stable Earth trine with Uranus moving retrograde in Taurus. So the sun still like getting new habits, getting new routines, improving myself, getting better, getting ahead in that practical Earth trine with Uranus moving retrograde in Taurus. So it's difficult to free ourselves from restrictive situations, situations that keep us small, those things that we don't really appreciate in other people. But those other people, they keep coming back because we entertain them, because we are naive and think like, oh, everyone can have it, because we're not being selective enough. Maybe it's time to be a little more selective, because the weeds, the bullies, they keep coming back because we keep entertaining them, because we keep giving them energy. Yeah, I can do anything about the weeds because sometimes it rains. Sometimes we can't do anything, but we can improve ourselves. We can improve our habits. We can change our habits so we don't have to deal with the weeds, with the bullies, with the... Do you. And free yourself from restrictive situations by not giving energy, by not putting your services there, by not putting your skills there, or rethinking how you are going to do it. Follow your own individuality, follow your own inner genius. As we're going up to Friday, the 20th of September, as Mars will be in a cardinal square with Lilith in Libra. So Lilith in Libra, suppressed feelings, relationships, suppressed things we like to say in relationships. And Mars in Cancer, I act on my feelings, but I find an obstacle, because sometimes we suppress what we say. We're thinking like, oh, I should be a little bit humble. I should give it more time. Ooh, I forgot to say this in Dutch, but I told Pisces, sometimes it costs more than money. It costs your time, it costs your energy, it costs your faith, it costs your beliefs. So sometimes we need to stop investing in others. Sometimes we need to just communicate our feelings. Let's go back to Monday the 16th with Venus being in an opposition with Chiron in retrograde. Remember, Venus in Libra is the second house for Virgo. So Virgo, this is how I like to improve, and I improve myself by communicating my value, by communicating what I do appreciate and what I do not appreciate. And then in this opposition, it's up to other people, because we have the choice to communicate, to be brave enough to communicate, and other people have the choice to be brave enough to say, I respect your boundaries, or I do not respect your boundaries. And if they do not, don't be like, oh, I can teach them, I can re-nurture them, no, they are already nurtured. Someone already made sure that they're good and alive and they can make their own choices, and these are the choices they are making. And if their upbringing is not suiting for you, just say thank you for your services, but there's the door, mate. Like, be cordial about, but if their upbringing isn't for you, just let them go. And if your upbringing isn't for someone else, just let them go. At least we have the common decency to let other people know. And remember that too, with Mars being the last in that cardinal T square. It's not our job to say, I'm going to restrict myself by putting myself in these relationships that I actually do not. Give them a finger, they'll take a whole hand. Give them a finger, they'll take a whole hand. Tell them you can. Tell them I'll do your laundry one time. Tell them I'll pay the bill one time. How you start, how you end. And those triggers will also show you where you are unhealed. Because ghosting triggered me, right? Ghosting, like, you can't communicate. You can't just have basic communication. You can't just... But it triggered me because I was never communicated well too. So I overcompensate by over communicating. But now, like I said, like the dude ghosted me and I'm like, I don't care. Like, I don't know who brought you up, but good luck, mate. Good luck. Let it go. Let it end. It's not your responsibility. It's not your child. It's not your business. Let those triggers show you where you are unhealed. Because oh my God, it took another lesson for me to be healed. Either way. It's Saturday, the 21st of September, as we're going off to the sun being in an opposition with Neptune moving retrograde. So, with Neptune moving retrograde, it's difficult to see things clearly, all that illusion in our subconscious, in an opposition with the sun in Virgo. We're not trying to, we are bettering ourselves, we are improving ourselves, we are getting new routines, new habits and stuff, and that is bringing us further. But it will not guarantee us that something or someone is going to say sorry, that something or someone is going to acknowledge that they did us wrong, or they should have done us better, or what. And I hope, as the haze is clearing up a little, that we're all not getting too hurt, realizing that we are the only ones who can do it for ourselves. Nothing and no one's gonna save you. We all the way up, or whatever he said. Yeah, maybe a little bit of painful of a realization. Maybe it's like, oh my God, all those years. Yeah, mate, all those years. Later in the day, Mercury will be in a mutable square with Jupiter. So Mercury, follow your feelings, follow your intuition, follow your senses in this mutable obstacle square with Jupiter. Change some things as we're growing and expanding in our perception and in our basic skills. Because those feelings, those senses are leading us to open doors and all these opportunities. But sometimes this is an example, a little bit an example with a truth. But sometimes we're like, oh my God, astrology, Shmoane, she's great, I should follow her. But if I follow her, you see my face and other people can see, and I don't want everyone to know that I'm into astrology, because then they're gonna tease me. Let them tease you. Be intimidated. Get to learn your stuff. Because the other day I saw this video of Robert Greene, and he was talking about the 10,000 hour principle, right? So that 10,000 hour principle, and some people are looking for shortcuts, but there are no shortcuts. That's the first way how you can shoot yourself in the foot. But the only shortcut there is going into an apprenticeship, finding a mentor, someone who can teach you, someone who has done those 10,000 hours 20,000, 40,000, 50,000 times. Because that person has already been through the pitfalls and has already been through the trials and tribulations, can show you this is how you should go, this is how you shouldn't go, this is allow your senses to guide you to those open doors, to guide you to those mentors, and go into that apprenticeship, because your spirit is leading you, is guiding you to where you exactly need to go. But the outside world again is going to be like, let them be like, that's also how they'll look at you when you're up. So be up, be good, take care of yourself, take care of your spirit. No, I'm not even in my preacher mode. I'm in my Lionel Richie mode. Like, you're my angel, miracle, you're all I need. Humbling your senses is letting opportunities pass you by. Allow yourself to be an apprentice. And this week on Sunday, the 22nd of September, as the sun will be in a Earth trine with Pluto in retrograde, because last week Pluto shifted back into Capricorn, remember? So we're in the earthy vibes again. So, sun, improving myself, Pluto, difficult to feel empowered, feel in control. So these are the co-workers, these are the bosses, the people we look up to, and it's not a time to be in control. It's not a time to, it's a time for transformation. It's a time for healing with Pluto in its retrograde. It's almost over. But know your role and keep steady boundaries. Because you said, I want to learn, I want to be an apprentice, I want to, so I can reach, so I can go, I want to improve myself. Do not let those bosses take advantage of you. Do not let those people in higher play. Oh, I know this, so pay me. I know this, so what? Knowledge is free. But that intellectual love, that intellectual connection, it's strong. It's strong. Be very mindful of that. Be very demure. Be very mindful of the connection of intellect, of the love of intellectual connection, because we need to keep those boundaries clear, babe. We need to get somewhere. We're improving ourselves to get somewhere. Don't let the haze, and it's very easy. It's very easy, especially with, as later in the day, but especially with Lilith in Libra. Lilith in Libra is like, you like it like that. And no, it's easy, but it's not something we can work with on the long term. It's not something we can thrive on. It's not good for our reputation. The mistakes we make right now are going to. So, later in the day, 2:44 local Amsterdam time, the sun will be entering its detriment fallen sign of Libra. So Libra, remember wishy-washy? Let me count this one. Let me see this one. And those 30 days of Libra season are over. Side note: the next day, on Monday, the 23rd of September, Venus will be entering its detriment sign of Scorpio. So until the 17th of October, the major part of Libra season, the ruling planet of Libra is going to be in its detriment sign. And Scorpio is all about those shared possessions, shared values and stuff. And if other people are clouding your mind about what value is, what is worthy and stuff, like, no, in the first half of the year, we said, this is who I am. This is what I deserve. This is what I respect. This is what I tolerate. We're going out being sure. We're not going to call Betsy and Boogie and what. And be good, be secure, be stable in yourself. I'm not going to do a monthly overview because I do not feel appreciated enough. But there were some things I wanted to say. Either way, Scorpio, Venus and Scorpio. Dismiss it. If it's not for you, dismiss it. And let's remember, Libra is a man. Libra is a masculine sign. So very energetic, very outward. Go out and let. No. As later in the day, the first aspect in Libra season will be Venus in a cardinal square with Pluto moving retrograde in Capricorn. So Cardinal, I like to initiate personal relationships, but I find an obstacle because it's not coinciding with my reputation, with my long-term goals, what I want to leave behind in the world, my legacy. So be very sure of what it is, what you find worthy, and how you're going to go out with it. Do not let other people cloud your mind, as we're still healing and transformation.